Good morning. Today we will discuss regarding mechano-electrical actuators. In this, we will discuss regarding DC and AC motors. Regarding classification of motors. So, electric motors that are classified as alternating current, that is AC motors, and direct current, that is DC motors. So two main categories of electric motors are AC motors and DC motors. So AC motors, it is again subclassified as induction motors and synchronous motors, and DC motors that are subclassified as separately excited and self excited. So first we will see what is DC motors. So when a machine converts electrical energy into mechanical energy, it is called a motor. A DC motor or direct current motor converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. A direct current, that is DC current or DC motor, is a fairly simple electric motor that uses electricity and a magnetic field to produce torque, which turns the rotor and hence give mechanical work. So working principle of DC motor. So when electric current passes through a coil in a magnetic field, the magnetic force produces a torque which turns the DC motor. So you can see in a diagram there are N and S poles, then there is a commutator. So electric current that is supplied externally through a commutator. So the electric or external current, it is given to the armature through the commutator. The commutator reverses the current each half revolution to keep the torque turning, turning the coil in the same direction. So this is the working principle of DC motor. We will see the another diagram and discuss regarding the principle. So in any electric motor, operation is based on simple electromagnetism. When a current carrying conductor is placed in an external magnetic field, so you can see N and S pole that will produce the external magnetic field, it will experience a force, that is Lorentz force. So conductor, it is placed between the N and S pole. So due to this force, torque is produced which rotates the rotor of motor and hence a motor runs. So this is the working principle of DC motors. So you can see the construction of DC motor. You can see the different parts of DC motor. So there are the stator magnets, then the armature, then the winding, brushes, commutator, and the terminals. So terminals means that power supply, it is given to the commutator through by using the brushes, or the power supply, it is given to the armature winding. So you can see the different parts, that is pole core, pole shoe, then the field winding, that is called also called the stator winding. Then there is a armature, then the armature winding, and the yoke, that is hollow cylindrical stator frame. Now we will see the construction of DC motors. So DC motors consist of two windings. First is field winding and second is armature winding. So like any electrical rotating machine, a DC motor has two main parts, that is called, first is the stator and the rotor. The stator is a stationary member and consists of the field system or winding, and the rotor, it is a rotating member which houses the armature winding. So the rotor of the DC motor is also called as the armature. So field winding, it is stationary and armature winding can rotate freely. So field winding means it is a stator and armature winding it is a rotor. So field windings, when given DC supply, magnetic field is produced. So armature winding, when connected to DC source, shaft connected to it rotates due to Lorentz force. Now we will see the function of each part of DC motor. So first part, that is a yoke. Yoke means it is a hollow cylindrical stator frame, that is the outside part of the motor. So you can see in a diagram. So it is a outer cover of DC motor, also called as frame. It provides protection to the rotating and other part of the machine from moisture and dust, etc. Yoke is an iron body which provides the path for the flux to complete the magnetic circuit. It provides the mechanical support for the poles. So generally poles that are connected to the yoke. So material used for yoke is low reluctance material such as cast iron, silicon steel, rolled steel, cast steel, etc. Then poles and pole core. So poles are electromagnet. The field winding is wound over it. So you can see the poles. So you can see in a second diagram, the N and S, these are the poles that are connected to the stator body or the yoke, and there is a winding over the poles. The field winding is wound over it. It produces a magnetic flux when the field winding is excited. So you can see in a diagram, there is a pole that is shown and there is a winding over the pole. The construction of pole is done using the lamination of particular shape to reduce the power loss due to eddy current. The next part is pole shoe. So pole shoe is an extended part of the pole. Due to its typical shape, it enlarges the area of the pole so that more flux can pass through the air gap to armature. So material use is low reluctance magnetic material such as cast steel or cast iron is used to construction of the pole and the pole shoe. Then field winding. So you can see in a top diagram. So there is a field coil wound on a pole, that is called a field winding. The coil wound on a pole or pole core is called a field coils. Field coils are connected in series to form field winding. Current is passed through the field winding in a specific direction to magnetize the poles and the pole shoes. Thus, magnetic flux is produced in the air gap between the pole shoe and the armature. So, field winding is also called as exciting winding. Material used for the material use is also called as material used for copper conductor is copper. Due to the current flowing through the field winding, alternate N and S poles are produced. So you can see there is a field winding. You can see the stator field winding, and inside there is a armature winding and the rotor connection that is shown. The supply it is given to the armature through the commutator by using the brushes. So in a diagram there is a two pole permanent magnet motor, and in the second diagram you can see the four pole wound field motor. Then armature core. The armature core is a cylindrical drum mounted on a shaft. It is provided with large number of slots all over its periphery and it is parallel to the shaft axis. Armature conductors are placed in these slots. Armature core provides low reluctance path to the flux produced by the field winding. So material used that should have high permeability, reluctance. Cast steel or cast iron material is used. So laminated construction of iron core is used to minimize the eddy current losses. Then armature winding. So armature conductor is placed in a armature or armature slots present on a periphery of armature core. Armature conductor are interconnected to form the armature winding. When the armature winding is rotated using a prime mover, it cuts the magnetic flux lines and voltage gets induced in it. Armature winding is connected to the external circuit, that is load, through the commutator and brushes. Now, the armature core is separated from the field poles by a small air gap, which allows the armature to rotate freely. So, slots are provided on a periphery of the armature core for the conductors. The slots are lined with tough insulating material. The armature windings are made on formers and then placed on a slots. So enamel insulated copper wires are used for the armature winding. And each armature coil end each armature coil end is connected with each segment of the commutator. So you can see the armature winding, then there is a commutator, and on the commutator there are the brushes, and that brushes it is connected to the power supply. You can see at the top there is a stator magnets. Inside the magnets there is a armature winding, and there is a small gap between the field winding and the armature winding. Then commutator. So commutator is a cylindrical body mounted on a shaft along with armature forming in a single unit. So brushes are placed on a commutator surface to supply or collect current to the armature coils through the commutator segments. The function of the commutator is to produce a unidirectional torque. So it is a cylindrical drum mounted on the shaft along with armature core. So you can see at the in a diagram, at the end of the shaft there is a commutator. It is made up of large number of wedge-shaped segments of hard-drawn copper. The segments are insulated from each other by thin layer of mica. So armature winding are tapped at various points, and these tapping are successively connected to various segments of commutator. Then function of commutator is it converts the AC EMF generated internally into DC, and it helps to produce unidirectional torque. Then brushes. So current are conducted from the armature to the external load by the carbon brushes, which are held against the surface of the commutator by springs. So functions of brushes is to collect the current from the commutator and supply it to the external load in generator and vice versa in motor. Material use. Brushes are made of carbon and they are rectangular in shape. So you can see the construction of DC motor. So you can see the shaft. On the shaft there is a armature winding. At the end of the shaft there is a commutator, and you can see the brushes that are placed on a commutator, and outside body that is called the yoke, and you can see the field winding. and there is a small gap between the field winding and the armature winding. Then types of DC motor. So classification of DC motor depends on the way of connecting the armature and the field winding of DC motor. So first is DC shunt motor, second is DC series motor, and third is DC compound motor. So DC compound motor is again subclassified as short shunt compound motor and long shunt compound motor. So first is DC shunt motor. The parallel combination of two windings is connected across the common DC power supply. So resistance of shunt field winding is always higher than that is armature winding. So this is because the number of turns of the field winding is more than that of armature winding. So you can see the DC shunt motor. So it is a parallel combination of two windings and is connected across the common DC power supply. That is called the DC shunt motor. Then DC series motor, the field winding is connected in series with the armature. So the current passing through the series winding is same as that of armature current. Therefore, the series field winding has fewer turns of thick wire than the shunt field winding. And the DC compound motor. So DC compound motor is a combination of series motor and the shunt motor. So it has a series field winding that is connected in series with the armature and a shunt field that is in parallel with the armature. So the combination of series and shunt winding allows the motor to have the torque characteristics of the series motor and the regulated speed characteristics of the shunt motor. So this is the advantage of the DC compound motor. Then the second part that we will discuss, it is a AC motors. So what is AC motor? The motor that converts the alternating current into mechanical energy power by using an electromagnetic phenomenon is called AC motor. So basic principle of AC motor. So AC motor is an electric motor driven by alternating current, that is AC. So principle of operation for all AC motors relies on the interaction of a revolving magnetic field created in the stator by AC current. So AC current, it is provided to the stator in case of AC motors with an opposing magnetic field either induced on the rotor or provided by the separate DC current source. Resulting interaction produces usable torque which can be coupled to desired loads throughout the facility in a convenient manner. So you can see the various parts of AC motor. A, it is a front cover, B, it is a stator coil, C, it is a stator, then D, it is a terminal box, back cover, F is a fan, then G, it is a frame, H, it is a squirrel cage armature, and J, it is a shaft. Now AC motor construction. And AC induction motors are commonly used in industrial applications. The motor that will center around three-phase induction motor. So an asynchronous motor is a type of motor where the speed of the rotor is other than the speed of the rotating magnetic field. So we will see the different parts or the components of AC motors. So first is stator construction. The stator and the rotor are electrical circuits that performs as electromagnets. The stator is stationary electrical part of the motor. The stator core is a NEMA motor is made up of several hundreds thin laminations. So stator windings. Stator laminations are stacked together, forming a hollow cylinder. Coils of insulated wire are inserted into slots of the stator core. So similar to a DC motor, single phase induction motor has basically two main parts, one rotating and other stationary. The stator has a laminated construction made up of stampings. The stampings are slotted on its periphery to carry the winding called stator winding or main winding. And this is excited by a single phase AC supply. The stator winding is wound for certain definite number of poles. When it is excited by AC supply, the stator produces the magnetic field. Each grouping of coils together with the steel core it surrounds form an electromagnet. Electromagnetism is the principle behind the motor operation. The stator windings are connected directly to the power source. Then the rotor construction. The rotor is the rotating part of electromagnetic circuit. The most common type of rotor is the squirrel cage rotor. Other types of rotor construction will be mentioned in another next slides. The construction of the squirrel cage rotor is of rotating exercise wheels found in cages of pet rodents. The rotor construction is of squirrel cage type. In this type, the rotor consists of uninsulated copper or aluminum bars placed in the slots. So you can see the rotor. So rotor consists of the stack of steel laminations with evenly spaced conductor bars around the circumference. The bars are permanently shorted at both the ends with the help of conducting rings called end rings. The entire structure looks like a cage, hence called squirrel cage rotor. The laminations are stacked together to form a rotor core. Aluminium is die-cast in the slots of the rotor core to form a series of conductors around the perimeter of the rotor. Current flow through the conductors form the electromagnet. The conductor bars are mechanically and electrically connected with end rings. The rotor core mounts on the steel shaft to form the rotor assembly. So in short, the stator, the function of stator is to supply rotational magnetic field to the rotor. The magnetic field produced by two types of winding, stator winding and running winding. Stator winding is to determine the direction and or rotation of the motor, and running winding it is to determine the speed of the rotation. And the rotor, you can see the construction of rotor again. So in a figure A, the rotor of an AC induction motor is cylindrical. You can see in a figure A. Then in a figure B, you can see the different elements. So it is made up of copper or aluminum bars arranged to form the squirrel cage. The ends of the bars are soldered together to a ring. You can see the end ring. So all the ends of the bars that are soldered together, or that is called it is short circuited. The bars allow induced current to flow in the rotor due to the changing magnetic field in a stator. And in a figure C, you can see the core of the rotor is made of laminated iron sheets, that is shown in a figure. Then enclosure. The enclosure consists of a frame, or it is also called the yoke, and two end brackets that is bearing housings. The stator is mounted inside the frame. The rotor fits inside the stator with a slight air gap separating it from the stator. There is no direct physical connection between the rotor and the stator. So the enclosure also protects the electrical and operating parts of the motor from harmful effects of the environments in which the motor operates. Then the torque generation. The AC power supply supplies the magnetic field to the stator. From the state from the starter winding and the running winding, a rotating, it is a stator winding. From the stator winding and the running winding or the rotor winding, the rotating magnetic field is generated at the stator. When current starts to flow in the rotor conductor bars, the magnetic field is generated by the rotor. The interaction between magnetic fields of the stator and the rotor will generate a torque in a rotor conductor bars. This torque produces the rotation of the motor. In other words, as the bars are permanently shorted to each other, the resistance of the entire rotor is very small. The air gap between the stator and the rotor is kept uniform and as small as possible. The main feature of this rotor is that it automatically adjusts itself for same number of poles as that of the stator winding. So for the motoring action, there must exist two fluxes which interact with each other to produce the torque. In DC motors, field winding produces the main flux, while DC supply is given to the armature is responsible to produce the armature flux. That is in case of DC motor. The main flux and the armature flux interact to produce the torque. So this is in case of DC motor. Now in case of AC motor, single phase AC supply is given to the stator winding. The stator winding carries an alternating current which produces the flux which is also alternating in nature. This flux is called as the main flux. This flux links with the rotor conductors, and due to transformer action, EMF gets induced in a rotor. This rotor current produces another flux called rotor flux required for motoring action. Now, classification of AC motor, it is classified as the induction motors and the synchronous motors. So induction motors, it is again subclassified as single phase and the three phase. So induction motors or induction AC motors are the simplest and most rugged electric motor and consist of two basic electrical assemblies, that is wound stator and the rotor assembly. The induction AC motor derives its name from the currents flowing in rotor that are induced by the alternating currents flowing in a primary member, that is stator. The combined electromagnetic effects of the stator and the rotor currents produce the force to create rotation. So you can see in a diagram, there is a single phase induction motor. These only have one stator winding, operate with a single phase power supply. And in case of three phase induction motor, a three phase supply is given to the stator of induction motor. Then synchronous motor. The stator in this type of motor is identical to that used in induction motor, except the rotor alternatively carries its own magnetic field windings which are supplied from DC source. So synchronous motors are not self-starting as the rotor gets locked to the RMF, so they require some external means to bring their speed close to the synchronous speed before they are synchronized. So this is regarding the DC and the AC motors. So it is regarding to electro or mechano-electric actuators. Thank you.